Hello and welcome to a day in 15 minutes UPSC Prelims Daily Current Affairs by Neo IAS. Today is 24th December 2019 and the topics for discussion are Quick Reaction Surface to Air Missile, which is QRSAM, Quality Council of India QCI, Ebola virus disease, Eurasian Economic Union, Fisheries and Aquaculture Development Fund, and finally Microdot identifiers. Now coming to the first topic of the day, which is Quick Reaction Surface to Air Missile. Okay, now understand this is in news because DRDO's this missile has been successfully tested and fired. Okay, so coming and talking about a few specificities of this missile, what we have is this is actually a state-of-the-art missile that has been developed by DRDO, and this is developed for the Indian Army. Now, QRSAM actually uses a solid fuel propellant that has a range of about 25 to 30 kilometers. Now, understand this is a sophisticated all-weather, all-terrain missile, and it can be mounted on a truck and stored in a canister before firing. So now the thing is, this missile is actually equipped with the electronic countermeasures against jamming by aircraft radars also. And the first trial of QRSAM was conducted in 4th June 2017. Now this system is going to be equipped with indigenously developed phased array radar and inertial navigation system, data link and radio frequency seeker. Basically, it will be very good in guidance of the missile towards the target. Now coming to the next topic of the day, which is Quality Council of India. Now Quality Council of India is actually in news because according to a report given by Quality Council of India, it says that 67% of the toys which are imported into India are actually dangerous, very dangerous for children. So this is the reason why Quality Council of India has actually been in news. Now coming and talking about this organization was established in 1997 and it is actually an autonomous organization under the Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, DPIIT, and this thing actually comes under Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Now understand, it was set up jointly by the Government of India and the Indian industry representatives, which is actually association of three premier industries, industry associations in the India, which is Association Chambers of Commerce and Industry of India, that is ASSOCHAM, then Confederation of Indian Industry CII, and finally Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry, FICCI. So these are the three associations that has come together with Government of India and established Quality Council of India. Now this is actually the quality apex and national accreditation body for accreditation and quality promotion in the country, and this council was established to provide a credible, reliable mechanism for third-party assessment of products, services and processes which is accepted and recognized globally. Now the chairman of QCI is actually appointed by the Prime Minister of India on the recommendation of the industry to the Government of India. So it's a very high post where the appointment is done by the Prime Minister. Now coming to the next topic of the day, which is Ebola virus disease or Ebola itself. Now there's a news because Ebola has emerged again in Congo and 11 new cases have been confirmed in Congo. Now Ebola virus disease is formally known as Ebola hemorrhage fever. It's actually a rare but a very severe and often fatal illness in human beings. It was first identified in 1976 in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Coming and talking about the transmission of this virus. Now this virus is actually transmitted to people from wild animals, and it also spreads from human population to other humans. So human to human transmission is also possible as far as Ebola is concerned. Now Ebola spreads, understand this, Ebola spreads through human to human transmission via direct contact. There should be direct contact for spread of Ebola virus. There can be contact with blood or bodily fluids with a sick person or objects that has been contaminated by the blood, any of the bodily fluid of a sick person. Now understand, as far as animals, fruit bats are actually recognized as the natural host of this virus, and it spreads through the contact with body fluids of the infected person such as blood, urine or saliva with respect to that of this bat. The latest thing that you have to know about Ebola is that Ebola is also spread by sexual transmission. So that's also a very important thing. Coming to the symptoms as far as Ebola is concerned, we'll have fever, fatigue, muscle pain, headache, sore throat and different kind of symptoms like that. And as far as the prevention of this thing is concerned, you have to keep in mind that the community engagement is the key way for successfully controlling the outbreaks of Ebola. Other than that, there should be good initiatives also, such as timely management of the infectious person, and control practices should be there. Surveillance of the disease should be there. There should be good laboratory services, safe and dignified burials of the dead people. So all such kind of efforts should also be taken to control the effects of Ebola outbreak. Now coming to the next topic, which is Eurasian Economic Union. Okay, so now this is in news because Russia is hopeful of India's free trade pact with the Eurasian Economic Union. Coming and talking about this union, the Eurasian Economic Union is an international organization for regional economic integration. Now it has international legal personality and is established by the Treaty of the Eurasian Economic Union. There's a Treaty of Eurasian Economic Union through which this union has actually been formed. Okay, now coming to the member states, understand this is very important for your UPSC. The member states are the Republic of Armenia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan and Russia. So these are the 5 members in the Eurasian Economic Union. Now the Eurasian Economic Union actually provides for free movement of goods, services, capital and labor, pursues coordinated, harmonized and single policy in the sectors determined by this treaty and international arrangements or agreements with respect to this union. Now coming to the governance of this union, we have the Supreme Eurasian Economic Council. Actually, this is a group of the heads of the member states and is the most supreme council of this union. And the other 3 are the Eurasian Intergovernmental Council, the Eurasian Economic Commission and finally the Court of the Eurasian Economic Union. Okay, now coming to the next topic of the day, which is Fisheries and Aquaculture Development Fund. Now understand this is in news because the first tripartite memorandum of agreement was signed between the Department of Fisheries, Government of India, NABARD and the Government of Tamil Nadu for implementation of the Fisheries and Aquaculture Development Fund. Coming and talking about this fund is actually a dedicated fund created with a total corpus of 7,522 crore to address the infrastructure requirement of the fishery structure. Now basically it promotes deep sea fishing, post harvesting, cage culture and exports. Now NABARD, that is National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, NCDC, that is National Cooperatives Development Corporation, and all scheduled banks are the nodal loaning entities to provide concessional finance under the fund. Okay. Now the Department of Fisheries under the fund actually provides interest subversion of up to 3% per annum for providing the concessional finance by the nodal loaning entities at the interest rate not lower than 5% per annum. Now coming to the last topic of the day, which is microdot identifiers. Now this is in news because it is basically to enhance the vehicle safety. The government has notified rules for microdot identifiers on motor vehicles and their parts. Now coming and talking about this, the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways has notified automotive industry standards in the respect of microdot identifiers affixed on the motor vehicles and their parts through the amendments of the Central Motor Vehicles Rules of 1989. Now according to the new notification, the manufacturers who are affixing microdot identifiers in the motor vehicles and their parts shall conform to the Automotive Industry Standards 155. Now coming and talking about microdot identifiers. Now microdot is actually a text or an image substantially reduced in size to prevent detection by an unintended recipient. Now the microdots are normally circular and around 1 millimeter in diameter, but can be made into different shapes and sizes and made from various materials such as polyester or metal. Now the microdot technology involves spraying thousands of microscopic dots into vehicles to form a unique identification, and each microdot carries this identification which is registered to the owner but is not visible to the naked eye. Now coming to the advantages of this, the move is aimed at making India a free from vehicle theft. Okay, there should be free from vehicle theft, that is the main idea of this move. Now the move will ensure that the consumers have a way of identifying original parts from fake ones that contributes to the overall safety and well-being of the consumer. Okay, so that's all for today. If you have any doubts or queries, you can write down in the comment section below. For extra news, you can please log into our current affairs website, which is www.neoiascap.com. So, thank you and goodbye.
Like, share and subscribe to our channel for more videos. Follow our website neoiasgap.com for the detailed content and monthly prelims digest. Also join our current affairs exclusive test series through the website. And finally, participate in the daily current affairs prelims infotainment quiz at our Telegram channel, that is Neo IAS Prelims, at 9:30 p.m. every day. Thank you.